In this video, we're going to talk about reusable elements. Now, we've talked a lot about reusable elements over the course of this entire series, so you should be pretty familiar with what they are. They're really great for building in a modular way because reusable elements, by definition, can be reused. So that means that we don't repeat ourselves. We can access the same elements and workflows on any page that we place them on. What I want to highlight is how we can use reusable elements to transform and manipulate data. So what we can do is we can send data to a reusable element. It can transform or change that data as we wish, and then we can reference that data back on the page. That could be a little bit confusing to understand. So let's jump into our editor and just go over an example of us actually setting this one up. On this page, we have a list of posts, and what you can see is underneath the user who posted it, we can see the date and time that this particular post was posted at. What I actually wanted to say is I wanted to say if it was posted less than 24 hours ago, how many hours it was posted ago. So posted X hours ago, so posted 5 hours ago, for example. But if it was posted more than 24 hours ago, I wanted to say it was posted on the date, this particular date and time. Now, we also have this friend request list. And what we have is we have the exact time that this friend request was made. And what I want to do here is I want to do the same thing. I want to, if it is less than 24 hours ago, say how many hours ago it was requested. Otherwise, I want to give the date and time. And the way that we can do this is we can actually set this up using a reusable element. And what we will do is we will take in data, we'll ingest it, and then we will transform that data and provide it back on the front end. So let's go over the process of exactly how we set this up. So I'll jump back into my editor, and what I want to do is I want to add a new reusable element, which I'm going to call date conversion. And I'll create this one here. What I want to do is I want to go to my layout tab and just change that to 20 and change that one to 20. I would then also like to change this to a 0 radius transparent group. And what I want to do is I want it to change to a type of content or take in the type of content date. So that created date, which the post and the friend's request had. And then I want to create a new property, which will be new date. And I'm going to change this to a dynamic value, and I'm going to change the field type to text. So basically I want to take in this date, and then I want to provide a new date, which is a text field. And what I might actually do is I'll change this to created date, just so that it's a little bit more descriptive, because we got the post created date and we also have the friend request created date. Now, what we need to do is we need to figure out how we're going to ingest that data, transform that data based on whether the date is within the last 24 hours or not, and then provide it back at the front end. And the way that we're going to do that is I'm going to jump back to my dashboard. I'm going to get this pop-up hidden variables, and I'll just copy this one, and I'll go back to our reusable element, and I will paste this one in. So the reason why I wanted this pop-up is I just need a place where I can ingest this date data and then transform it into that format that I really want and pass it back. So this pop-up just gives me that container. So what I then want to do is I want to change this placeholder hidden variable to state date conversion. And then I want to change this from var placeholder to date conversion. And I'm going to change it to a type of content text. And then what I want to do is I want to provide an arbitrary text. And what I will do is I will provide in this one the ingested date conversions dates format. And what I want to provide is I want to provide it in this particular format. And then I want to write at, and I want to go date conversions date format time. So what I'm doing here is I'm pulling in the date, and then I'm grabbing out the date that this post or friend request was created at, and I'm also providing the time. I then also want to create a conditional where I go if current date time minus date conversions date, so that's going to be the posted date or the created date, formatted as hours, is less than or equal to 24, so it's less than or equal to 24. I want the data source to be, again, an arbitrary text, and that arbitrary text is going to be current date time minus date conversions date, formatted hours ago. And I also want to do is I want to do ceiling. So basically I'm just rounding the hours up as well. So let's close that one. So what we have set up right now is we pull in the data from the date conversions date that has been set. And then if that date is less than 24 hours ago, we say how many hours ago it was provided. And if it is longer than that, we actually just reformat this date into a format that we like. And now that's set up, I just want to delete all this extra information in our hidden variable group that we just don't need. So I'll remove these ones. And then what I want to do is I want to jump back to my property here. So I created this created date property, and I want to set the default value to be that variable that we just set up, being var date conversions text. So if we go back to my dashboard, what I am now going to do is I'm going to open up my group posts, and I will scroll down to my date conversion, and I will just drop it in here like so. And what I want to do is I want to make this collapsed when hidden. And then for this particular one, I want to clear this particular expression. And then I want to go date conversions created date. So we're going to pull in this converted information. And then I want to go to my friend requests, and I want to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to go date converter and drop it in like so. I'm going to pop it in, and then I want to clear this one, select date conversions created date. I also need to make sure that I'm providing the correct data as well. That's going to be created time. For this one, I'm going to also go parent groups pros created time. So if we view this on the front end, we can see that it's changed. So it goes requested Sunday, May 26th at this time, requested 15:16 ago. And then it does the same over here as well. Posted 9 ago, but obvious mistake that I'm noticing is if I go back to my edit element and I go to my pop-up hidden variables and I go to here, I want to add in hours. I want to say how many hours ago it was. So we can see that, and we see it's 9 hours ago, it's 15 hours ago, and I need to add a space there just so that it's finally coming exactly what I want it to look like. And now it's working. So this is exactly how you can use a reusable element to change the format of your data.